Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, game number 4 between OGS MC and TSL's PuMa. Right now, PuMa is up 2-1 against MC. This time, we are in Backwater Gulch. We can see right now here in the upper left, OGS MC spawning as our blue Protoss player. And here in the bottom left, we do have TSL's PuMa as the red Terran player. So yes, PuMa is up 2-1, winning the first 2. We did see MC with a very nice comeback last game, opening up with some Void Ray aggression early on, moving out with some Gateway mixed of units, as well as those 2 Void Rays. He managed to do a lot of damage, but more importantly, he managed to contain PuMa up until the 11-minute mark. So PuMa's first expansion didn't come out until after 11 minutes, and that is a little bit too late. So that's primarily why he was in a lot of trouble, because he was quite a bit further behind MC in terms of economy. So once we did finally have that big engagement, I really just kind of got overwhelmed. Very cool map. Certainly a favorite of mine, Backwater Gulch. I haven't commentated a lot of games on here. I've played a lot of games on Backwater Gulch, but in terms of commentary, this isn't a map that typically gets commentated on. So again, this is from the North American Star League, so if you hadn't seen it, professional players, very, very high level, and obviously makes for entertaining casts. So hopefully these commentaries have been pretty exciting thus far for you, and hopefully we keep up and keep this train rolling. We can see right now MC looks to be open and relatively standard. Do we have an assimilator coming out? Yes, we do. So MC, very, very standard play so far. He does have that probe scout right now as well, moving across the map, and he will be just walking right up into PuMa. He's caught PuMa like instantly almost every single game so far. Pretty hilarious, with basically his first placement of that probe scout has always seems to walk right into PuMa's base. So yes, PuMa getting scouted out right now by MC, seeing, right now pretty much standard stuff. Looks like PuMa will be opening pretty standard early on. Now he wants to see if there's any quick attachments or if that Marine's coming out. Looks like the Marine is in fact building, so doing a little bit of damage to that SCV. Wants to just reconfirm that Marine's coming out, and then should be heading out sometime soon, because yes, he doesn't want to get trapped, as that SCV is intending to do. And there we go, dropping off that supply depot and the probe. But we'll be heading on back home. So SCV scout right now for PuMa. We'll be walking right up into MC's base. MC, the Cybernex Corps, 50% of the way finished. No Zealot coming out initially, and actually there we go, deciding to finally come out with that. Can see that Cybernex Corps still not out yet, and here comes that second assimilator. I know one Marine moving across the map, and ooh, getting out just in the nick of time. MC could have certainly lost that. A few more steps for that Marine, especially if he had walked right over here in this direction. He could have stutter stepped away and taken out that probe, no problem. Probe will just be meandering on over and grabbing that second Zelnaga. And actually, you can see each other from that Zelnaga. Look at that, just like a little Mexican standoff over here. Well, they dare each other to cross the path and walk towards the other. The Marine will be heading back home though, because he knows that a Stalker is en route. We can see right now Stalker about halfway done, getting a little bit of a chrono boost action there as well. PuMa going straight for a factory. This is something he has yet to do, so teching up pretty hard early on. Let's keep an eye here on attachments to see what he decides to do with this bad boy. Walling off, obviously allowing him to kind of hide his tech a little bit. We've got a tech lab coming out and a starport. Could be a Banshee opening. Not the most popular thing against Protoss, but could certainly work, especially if we don't see a robo. But look at that. MC does have that robotics coming on through, so if he does get hit with anything like Cloak Banshees, he will have no problem contending with that. Moving down, first checking out that expansion. He's got the Stalker, and we saw how devastating the Stalker was just a couple of games ago. So let's see if MC is able to do that again, but no, actually retreating. Doesn't want to walk into those Marines while they're sitting up on the high ground. Yeah, but Stalkers for softening up Marines early on, a very effective tactic. And yes, there we go. There's the hot swap. So let's see it. Is it going to be the Cloak Banshees, or will he be going for Raven? No, Cloak Banshees is the name of the game. Starting off with just the Cloak and holding off of that Banshee a little bit. Just doesn't have those resources yet. Very shortly, though. Question may be, why would you do that? Well, don't you want that Banshee out first? Well, you do have to realize that it takes about 2 Banshees worth of time for that Cloak research to finish. So if you start it first and you hold off on the Banshee just a little bit, once it's out and makes it to your opponent's base, then you might be right around the time of that Cloak research finish. But if you go straight Banshee and then get the Cloak after, it'll be a long time. Again, 2 Banshees worth of build time before that Cloak is actually done researching. We do have that Observer moving across the map right now. We'll be going straight into PuMa's base. He doesn't need to check what's going on. I think he should be able to scout this out depending on which way that Banshee heads. And actually, no, the Banshee is rallied right to where the Observer's going. The Observer should scout this. Let's see what MC sees. Yep. There you go. So he realizes now that that Banshee's coming through, immediately building a second observer over here. We've got an expansion coming out for MC, expansion building in the main over here for PuMa as well. So these Cloak Banshees not going to be nearly as effective as he may have hoped, and that's a little bit of a cause for concern because this is very heavy resource investment. Now we do have a reactor coming on down, also building this bunker for fear of any sort of early game aggression. First, the Banshee will be moving across the map, trying to kill off any probes or anything that may be kind of sitting by these Xel'Naga towers, but unfortunately not working out for him because there was nothing in the center of the map. Again, MC realizing that those guys were coming across the map, decided to pull his forces back to his main to try to defend. Now here we go. Banshee will be moving into attack from this position. We've got that second Banshee as well. Do want to see that actually go into the natural. That would be a very nice play, again, hitting from multiple angles. So the Cloak research has been engaged. The Cloak has been engaged, but here comes that Observer, and the Stalkers target firing it down, and the Banshee just barely eking away with 10 HP. There is that second Banshee over here. So let's see if he decides to keep this up and move down. Yes, he's going to move down in the expansion. Look at this hidden expansion over here for PuMa. So PuMa trying to hide his tech in this position, and that is most certainly going to be beneficial if MC doesn't scout it out. However, if MC scouts that, that is a free command center. So yes, certainly could pay off, but also could be a big loss. Now we have still another Cloak Banshee going to town over here. Observer with those anti-air units, so moving down. Sentries are a little vulnerable to that Banshee fire, so they do need to be careful. You can see that one sentry was targeted down very quickly, but it looks like this Banshee harass is all but done right now. Now we do have that transition actually coming out with a Raven over here, and then doing a little hot swap. We'll be dropping that starport right here on this reactor, and allow him to pump out these double medevacs. So look at this right now. Lots of racks coming out. Some double medevacs, and then also this Raven here. A Raven, very nice, going to allow him to snipe out any observers that happen to meander right on over into his base. Also, just in case some DT ever come into the mix, that'll help. And that, once more, that point defense drone, very effective against any stalkers that MC may end up getting. Although MC really hasn't played much with stalkers so far. He's been sitting pretty zealot heavy in most of these games so far. This one Banshee is sitting with 3 kills. We'll be forced to retreat right now. We'll be just tucked away in this corner at this moment. So back over here, another expansion over here for MC at that natural, and then once more the hidden expansion over here, and I'm sorry, for PuMa. And if PuMa can keep this up, oh man, it's this is something that typically you won't see in a lot of standard games just because it is so very risky. But definitely at these tournaments where there's a lot of money on the line and it's very high stakes, you see much more risky play as we are seeing PuMa do over here. So yeah, very risky indeed, but this could very well pay off for him. Again, if it isn't scouted by MC, he's going to be in a lot of trouble because MC will be quite a bit behind economically as to where PuMa is sitting. So PuMa right now will be comfortable with this bio army and just coming out with these double medevacs. Here's actually that transition already to double Vikings. Does he know or expect those Colossus? He saw the bay, yes. So so he saw the bay, so he does know and expect the fact that the Colossus will be coming out. That, of course, informs his decision to come out with these Vikings right now. And yes, bio-heavy, lots of racks, and some Vikings. Back over here, let's pay attention to what MC has got going on. Obviously, those Colossus coming through, the Thermal Lance coming on through as well. We'll be getting out that Forge, start some upgrades there for his Protoss army. I would really like to see him come out with those Charge Zealots as well. That can be a very effective combination, moving out with those Colossus as well as those Charge Zealots. Do a really great job of kind of overwhelming the Terran players, especially being so bio-heavy. So there goes that Twilight Council, so I do expect that upgrade to come out sometime, although he does have a fair amount of Stalkers as well. No, just sitting on the 5. Oh, actually coming out more Stalkers. So he may actually opt for Blink Stalkers this game, kind of switching things up quite a bit from what we've seen from him in the past. Observer moving on around right now. MC just scouting out what's going on. We do have this factory scout that's trying to move across the map, but at the same time, here moves that Banshee. Now he has got 0 kills so far, and he died with 0 kills. So unfortunately, big fail on that Banshee's part. Didn't end up doing much of anything in his lifetime. 0 kills and just dying. That's certainly not beneficial. Engineering Bay coming out right now for PuMa. Also coming out with that Ghost Academy. We'll start to get some Ghost out into play. Dropping some EMPs on the head of MC. MC might be moving out right now for another expansion. Actually, no, he's checking. He is hunting around looking for some more Banshees. Unfortunately, nothing to actually take out over here. Who's got control of the Xel'Naga towers? Looks like it is MC. MC sitting with that lone zealot, getting a good vision of the center of the map. PuMa finally mobilizing that factory. Hopefully he kind of sends that somewhere towards MC's base. That's where it's going to be most beneficial. We do still have this Cloak Banshee sitting over here. Still, though, just with those 3 kills, that Photon Cannon will prove to be quite a heavy deterrent. No Banshees can actually walk by here without taking heavy damage from that Photon. That forces him along this direction, and obviously big force over here will prevent him from doing much over there as well. Now, nicely placed observer over here by MC, scouting out even after losing his Zealot there, the big push that is coming, and he might actually be able to catch him out of position, and this would be a great opportunity. We do have that Blink that will be just about finished right now. Those Blink Stalkers could do a bit of damage, and then once we see PuMa turn around for an about face, those Blink Stalkers will move back behind those Zealots and move within the range of those Colossus, and here we go, MC knocking at the front door. PuMa, looks like we will see MC trying to take out the point defense show. Blink Stalkers moving forward to try to snipe down some of those Vikings, but unfortunately there was just enough energy in that point defense zone to prevent that from happening. So this is the point in the game where I'm kind of concerned right now for MC, because PuMa has been taking advantage of this expansion for quite a while. Now you do realize not a lot of saturation. He's actually calling down a majority of his mules over here, trying to just use those temporary, and losing the Banshee, but trying to use those temporary miners to take as much out of this mineral field as possible, and that way, if it does get hit, he won't be losing a lot of the SCVs that he's invested pretty heavily in. So still sticking up with these Colossus here. He's got the charge upgrade just about finished, making also that transition into those High Templar. Do we have many Ghosts in play at this point in the game? 3 Ghosts in play. That one Raven still sticking around as well. Not enough energy for another point defense for a little while now. Actually, it's going to be costing him 100 energy, but here comes that engagement, and actually the Stalkers blinking away, realizing they were in a bit of trouble, going to be walking back to safety over here with those Colossus and what's soon to be Charged Zealots. Moving on forward, though, getting ready to try to actually, no, there is no Storm. Oh, look at that. He can't even. So if nothing else, this is kind of baiting. He could also land some feedbacks on those Ghosts, and that'll help prevent any EMPs to the bulk of his army, and that's certainly going to be a good idea. But again, PuMa, with the mining that he's got going on over here, is in a good position. MC really, without scouting that out, it's kind of a rough spot. Look, he hasn't even checked this half of the map, and it just goes to show you why you really need to get some scouting. Big EMP, though, going down. At the same time, moving forward, I don't think no, it did not. It didn't look like he got a feedback off. I didn't see any corpses there for those Ghosts. They typically would be. Observer still chilling out of the main. There's the scan, pushing forward with his bio army. Very heavy Viking force in the middle. Some big EMPs going down, and this is a little scary right now for MC. He's taking heavy losses. He's lost all of his Colossus. Vikings will be landing to try to join in the ground fire here and just tearing through everything that MC has. MC will be losing this entire force right now. It does not have enough. Trying to warp in a few more Zealots, trying to stick around now. This very low bio army, but I don't think that MC, he's just going to keep it up and actually just calling the GG. All right, so game number 4 here, going to PuMa. PuMa is up 3-1 against MC. Stick around for game number 5 in just one moment, guys. As always, if you like the content, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Keep watching and keep owning.